Our electric motor division, locomotive section 6, service department, surface manual, special devices and current devices and circuits. This part of section 6 briefly describes the device and circuit within the general new electric motor division. These devices circuit generally resolve with the use of the AC alternating current machine as the main generator. Over voltage relay (OVR), the high voltage drive of the power diode, the alternator rectifier, field winding rectifier assembly. High voltage can occur during the abnormal position operation of the important transition relay, setting failure to make the transition operating with the power contactors. With the selection remains on the alternator field, it also can occur when all the wheels slip simultaneously. The over voltage relay (OVR) is connected with the across the traction alternator circuit that is calibrated to pick up the relay with about 1,000 traction alternator volts during the parallel current motor connection across the traction motor alternator. The circuit is recalibrated to pick up the 1,200 volts during the series parallel. The over voltage relay picks up the generator field with the generator field contactor generator field energizer relay. Engine relay drop out. The locomotive alarm will ring when the engine relay drops out and no signal lights appear with the repeated overvoltage indicates the evidence of the loss of power engine speed. Without signal light indication calls for no action other than by the operator unless the personnel are able to determine the effective unit isolate. Figure 6E, overvoltage protection circuit. The overvoltage relay 72 volt generator field contactor energizer relay negative. Say what aim was. You have a resistor, parallel circuit, parallel push button 1, overspeed relay, alternator regulator 2, test jacks. Our excitation limited relay figure 6E2 with excessive excitation can cause stress with the control rectifier assembly as well with the power rectifier assembly. The circumstance is going to occur with the failure feedback signal of the sensor bypass panel sensor result with the silicone controlled rectifier is being turned full on. Figure 6E, excitation limited power circuit the circuits. We have a generator field, engine relay, LED, LER, push button, 16T, 6C, and 6 and 16A. 6 and 16 wire PA and 6V field shunt parallel relay GTR protection against the power backward transition field shunt ALD relay light and ELR relay FELD 10-second relay isolation switch throttle switch closed power position 1 through 8 a heavy alternator field current negative and ELR, which we'll find out in a minute. Your excitation limit relay on negative generator field excitation current. Or excessive excitation can also occur during the certain transition condition with when the traction alternator is trying to make up the volts against the electric motor force with the traction motor. Balance armature for the through cable related with the common U for the take of the current differential for the current during the wheel creep, the U for the alternator AR10 excitation current with excessive generator field current through the relay frame is operated with the relay. Excitation limit relay ELR with equipped with some of the applications of the operate with the relay with the SD45 and the locomotive closed not you with the relay is operated with the generator excitation with the current alone. The excitation limit relay is energized with the engine run relay. ER drops out reduce the engine speed within the resulting drops in D14 14 relay. D14 alternator drop the voltage. D14 alternator cover the lessening of the traction alternator excitation. Normal operation resumes of the excitation limited relay. Drops out. The excitation limit relay fails to drop out with the time check of the ELD of the excitation limit. D, whatever that means, picks up and latches itself. The throttle must be reduced the idle with the isolation switch of the power before the restore the electric license. The electric limit. The diode latches repeatedly. I don't know what ELD stands for. Latches representatively remain like it doesn't tell you. It's kind of gotta get it in the reading. Sensor bypass panel figure 6E3 with the sensor bypass panel is merely a junction point with the assembly with the following with the modular pegging over the components E with the conjunction with the circuit. The sensor itself also all the locomotives U with the same sensor with a different locomotive circuit value. The compensated for the components mounted in the sensor panel. You have a positive aim A22 left hand right hand rectifier transistor resistor 1 field bank 20 easy 19. Alright, fault detecting circuit figure 6E, 4. Any fault will result in the surge of the current of the alternator stator called the transformer action with accompanying surge of the alternator field winding surge. The surge may be caused by the brush holder. The brush holder motor flash over the short dial of the AR10 flash generator. The current surge of the AR10 field is sent to the field current with the transformer, or FCT, a signal of the faulty detection circuit of the FTC. When fires the silicone controlled rectifier SCR will continue with the conduct the specific value with the current flow through the 1000 ohm resistor connected with the parallel. Fault detection circuit, fault detection relay. Pick up of the controls and ensure the current flow is sufficient value with the circuit control silicone control rectifier. Turn the fault detection relay. Pick up of the fault detection relay. Picks up with the interlock with the dropout with the GFA. Generator field A, whatever that stands for. Interpret the fault of the detection circuit with the interpretation of the current cause of the silicone rectifier. Return the blocking state. Both of the fault detection relay has been picked up with the mechanically latched itself until it rests. Alright, on some early model of the SD45, the low fault detection relay operates with the same circuit with the ground relay, drop the generator with the excitation relay, and reduce the engine speed with the idle of the ground relay lights that come on whether the fault detection relay or the ground relay operated. Later, SD45 minutes of the fault detection, 6E45 fault detection circuit, the field current transformer from the silicone control rectifier assembly and to the alternator field generator. 1 and 2 parallel send the fault detection circuit has a circuit rectifier 50 watt, 300 watt, 50 watt and 300 resistor rectifier, silicone rectifier, GFA, generator field relay or push button 100 watts, and fault detection relay, mechanical lock, and NA. Alright, on later SD45 minutes, the fault detection may operate the same circuit with the ground relay, drop out generating excitation, reduce the engine speed, fault relay action, turns the speed, a separate indication light over the engine control, the light indicating the spec for the generator TR motor with the fault, with a separate with the ground relay light identifies the spec for the HV ground. Both faulty detection relay with the ground relay must be set, repressed for the GR reset, and both does not, however, turn off the indicating light for the engine control panel with the lights are turned on. Only the authorized maintenance personnel may reset buttons located on the relays within the electrical cabinet. To ensure the fault detection relay with the fault detection silicone rectifier must turn off the accomplished with the auxiliary generator field excitation relay interlock with the parallel PA wire over the silicone rectifier reverse no. Say no, the sense of the ground and fault relays may reset with the control stand. The indicating lights in the engine control panel remain and should be understood that the fault with indicating light does not operation of the locomotive. The locomotive lights do not have the indicator. The inspection electrical components should be made with the lights earliest opportunity. Wheel slip detection figures 6E65. The SD45 bridge circuit the not shown figure 6E5 are deployed. Alright, this one shows the alternator field, one of the test jokes, and the resistor on the next amp, and then 2 breakaways. Wheel slip relay, wheel control relay, biasing coils, a B button, 2 resistors, and then another three-way, third part. You see a resistor. Pickup of the motor field, dynamic braking resistor, ground fed relay, concurrent wheel control relay, BSO. The wheel slip relays, overspeed relay, TDO, then you have your resistors, wheel transformers, motor currents. During dynamic, the detection wheel of the bridge circuit with the low track speed with the current level is high. During operation, higher speed with the wheel slip. The detection circuit with the transducer type of the current will then unbalance between the paired motor speed. Wheel control relay and wheel slip operation nominal curves. The impedance of the coil wound on the iron frame within the motor current path of the power with the D14 alternator applied with the D-scope with the operate the wheel slip relay. These 3 sets of the transducers are the arrangement allows to keep the complete crossing match of the motor current with provide with the protection. The 2 motors simultaneously slip as well with the complete slip protection. When the traction motors are cut out, no motor would even without the wheel slip protection. Observe the wheel slip relay, wheel control relay, wheel slip. They equip with the operating coil with the biasing coil. The operating coil to connect with the slip, detecting the transducer, the bias coil, the wheel slip connection through the lighting of the calibration resistance graph. The main generator voltage is high and the current low. The wheel slip relay more sensitive than small current differential existing during the slip of the high locomotive speed. Effective with the large current differentials. This is during speed of the locomotive low speeds. Wheel control relay is calibrated to the main slipping detect relay with it picked up and then applied with the power reduces when the slip of the corrected power is resulted smoothly. The pickup of the value of the wheel control relay is such that it was based on basic SD45 locomotive relaying, and the base coil of the wheel control relay is not connected. Result of the vertical pickup of the line shown in Figure 6E6 of the issue, whereas pickup of the line wheel slip relay is based on the slant to the left. Figure 6E6 of the wheel control relay wheel slip operation nominal curve. The generator voltage 0 to 1200. The bus current differential transducers. Wheel control relay picked up base and bias. Wheel control relay parallel pickup without bias. Wheel slip relay pick up the bias, and wheel slip parallel pickup without bias. Alright, the wheel slip relay calibrated to pick up the high value of the wheel control relay will pick up the generator field relay. The dropout with the wheel slip light comes on, standard is applied with the slip is corrected, but the power is restored smoothly. Nominal generated graph shown with the approximate calibration wheel control relay slip pick up the prior in Figure 6E6. Sorry, I read that twice. During the wheel slip action, the wheel control relay picked up the first time delay with the overspeed relay. Energy of the overspeed relay determines driven toward the field switch position of action selection of the TDO time delay contacts pick up the action along with the standing of the position of the correct. The majority of the wheels high during the picker period of correction when the wheel slip. The packet may also pick up the overspeed relay to action when the position corrects slip for the region. The time effective TDF or time delayed contacts prevent the dropout of the general field of contact of 1 second. Corrective action sufficient dropout of the wheel slip with a 1 second power is not to produce more than when it is necessary. Wheel control relay drop after 1 second. Ensure that the TDF of the contacts around the wheel control relay. If the slip action is efficient with the wheel slip picked up of the 1 second generator field contactor dropped out, overspeed relay will driven toward the minimum field position. Wheel contact relay contacts located in the front of the isolation switch U. The drop generated excitation for the motor field position protection during the dynamic braking. And that was actually Section 6, Part D, or E. Sorry, Part E, Service of Manual Special Devices and Circuits, Electric Motor Division, SD45 Locomotive.